Welcome back my channel X Coins Hub of numismatics world. You've just picked up a quarter, 25 cents. The kind you use without thinking, tossing into a parking meter, feeding into a soda machine, or letting clink to the bottom of your bag. But what if I told you that this very one, is worth more than face value? Not just a little more, not even a lot more. What if I told you it's worth $164,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single modern US quarter, minted not decades ago, but just recently, in 2022, at the Philadelphia Mint. And on its reverse is a woman whose voice shook the world, whose words still echo in the hearts of millions. Maya Angelou. This isn't just a coin. It's a tribute. A monument pressed into metal. A symbol of strength, poetry, and progress. And for collectors, it's become one of the most sought-after modern coins in American numismatic history. So, how did this happen? How did a simple state quarter, a coin so common we barely notice it, become a six-figure treasure? Let's start at the beginning. Maya Angelou was more than a writer. She was a force of nature, a poet who spoke with thunder and grace, an activist, a dancer, a mother, a survivor. Her words gave voice to pain, to hope, to identity. When she stood before the world during President Clinton's inauguration in 1993 and recited, "On the pulse of morning," she didn't just make history. She made the world listen. Now, decades later, her legacy has been immortalized once again, not just in books or speeches, but on the surface of a U.S. quarter. The 2022 Maya Angelou quarter, the very first coin in the American Women Quarters program, launched by the United States, meant to honor women who shaped the country in ways too often overlooked. The design? Breathtaking. On the reverse, Maya stands tall, arms outstretched, wings rising behind her as if she's about to take flight. Below her are the words, "Still I rise," a nod to one of her most powerful poems. It's not just a portrait, it's a feeling. A movement captured in bronze and silver. And the public responded. From the moment this coin was released, collectors went wild. Not just because of its beauty, but because of what it represented. For many, Maya Angelou wasn't just a name in a textbook. She was a mentor, a guiding light, a voice that lifted them when they felt low. To see her honored like this, on legal tender, was emotional, historic, unforgettable. But here's where things get really interesting. When the US Mint released the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter, they struck millions. Tens of millions. So why, then, are some examples selling for over $164,000? Because rarity isn't always about how few were made. Sometimes, it's about how few survived in perfect condition. Coins that came straight from the mint, untouched by human hands, sealed in original packaging, those are the ones collectors are chasing. Especially those graded MS68, MS69, or even the rare PS70, if found among proof versions. These aren't just coins. They're pristine time capsules, flawless tributes to a flawless legacy. And the market has taken notice. In just a few short years, the finest known examples of the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter have sold at auction for astonishing prices. Some bringing in over $13,000, others soaring past $50,000. And the top-grade specimen? A jaw-dropping $164,000. That's not a typo. A quarter. Worth more than a luxury car. It sounds impossible until you remember what this coin truly is. It's not just money. It's memory. It's meaning. It's the embodiment of a life that changed the world. And for collectors, for dreamers, for believers in the power of words and history, it's priceless. So next time you hear that familiar clink of quarters in your pocket, don't just shrug and move on. Take a second look. Because somewhere, hidden in the everyday, there might be something extraordinary. Something that tells a story. Something that carries a legacy. Something that could be worth $164,000. And all it takes is one coin. This is the 2023 Bessie Coleman quarter, a shining tribute not only to an extraordinary American pioneer, but also to the power of dreams, determination, and the legacy we leave behind. And if you think quarters are just for vending machines, prepare to have your mind blown. Because while most quarters are worth exactly 25 cents, this one, minted in Philadelphia in 2023, is commanding prices that range from $2,000 all the way up to $38,000 and climbing. Let that sink in for a second. A modern US quarter, still warm from the mint, already worth tens of thousands of dollars. How does that happen? Why is this coin so special? The answer lies in history, in courage, in representation, and yes, in the magic of numismatics, the art and science of collecting coins. Bessie Coleman was no ordinary woman. Born in 1892 in Texas, she grew up in a world that told her she couldn't, not because she lacked talent or ambition, but because of the color of her skin and the gender she was born into. But Bessie didn't listen to "Can't," she heard. "I will." When she dreamed of flying, she didn't wait for permission. She went to France, became the first African American woman and first Native American woman to earn an international pilot's license, and returned to the United States not just as a pilot, but as a symbol of possibility. She performed jaw-dropping stunts in air shows across the country, inspired generations of young black children to look to the skies, and refused to perform for segregated audiences. Bessie Coleman wasn't just flying planes. She was breaking barriers with every takeoff. And now, over a century later, her face is soaring once again, etched forever in silver and copper on the surface of a U.S. quarter. The 2023 P. Bessie Coleman Quarter is part of the American Women Quarters Program, a groundbreaking initiative by the U.S. Mint to honor trailblazing women from American history on the reverse of the quarter. It's a program that doesn't just celebrate coins, it celebrates people, stories, legacies. Now, let's talk about the design. The obverse still features George Washington, as he has since 1932, but it's the reverse that tells a new story. Here, Bessie Coleman is captured mid-motion, looking skyward, wearing her signature flight cap and jacket, standing next to the rudder of her biplane. The image is powerful, dynamic, full of motion and meaning. It's not just a portrait, it's a moment frozen in time. A salute to a woman who refused to stay grounded. And then there's the minting process. This quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which doesn't typically put a mint mark on its coins. But in 2022, that changed. For the first time in decades, the P mint mark appeared on quarters like this one, making it even more collectible. Collectors love limited editions, and while millions were minted, the combination of historical significance, beautiful design, and the fact that it's part of a short-lived series makes this coin a standout. What really sets it apart, though, is condition. Like any collectible coin, grade matters. Coins that were perfectly struck, preserved in original mint packaging, and graded MS67, MS68, or even the rare MS69 by third-party services like PCGS or NGC can fetch staggering prices. These aren't just coins, they're time capsules, works of art, pieces of history. And that's why the finest known examples of the 2023 P. Bessie Coleman Quarter have sold for up to $38,000. $38,000 for a quarter. That's not just impressive, that's historic. So next time you get change back at the store, don't just glance at the coins. Take a closer look, because hidden among them might be a piece of history, a tribute to bravery, a symbol of progress, and maybe, just maybe, a small fortune waiting to be discovered. Because in the world of coin collecting, the future isn't written in dollars and cents. It's written in stories, in struggle, in triumph. And sometimes, it's written on the surface of a simple quarter. And this quarter, it's flying higher than most.